What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and welcome to episode 2 of Team Spotlight. Of course, it's the rebooted version. And for today's video, we're going to feature Magnetic Mayhem. A quick shout out to Gladwin Gracias for that team name. And an honorable mention team name was Static Mayhem. This of course refers to the now quite popular team of Mayday and Victor Mancha. If you remember, we showcased this team quite a while back and they've gained a lot of popularity since. But due to the fact that they're so phenomenal, I figured we should give them a Team Spotlight episode all to themselves. So first, a little bit about the build. We're using the explosive and the unavoidable E-ISO. There certainly aren't many ways that you can go wrong with this team. And what I mean by that is, this setup isn't the only way that you can use this team. These are just a few suggestions in what we happen to be using today. So we have the pulverizing on her level 1, the bursting E-ISO on her level 2, just in case we face a shield team. And then quite honestly the most important part is the snaring E-ISO on her level 9. This causes the attack against web targets to guaranteed hit and crit. So there we have Mayday Parker, aka the Amazing Spider-Woman. Next up is Victor Mancha. On him, we're trying out the Covert E-ISO. This makes him immune to off balance, and his counterattack will become a preemptive counter, unless he's protecting. Also importantly, his counterattacks gain ignore defense. Then in his other E-ISO slot, we're trying out the Blurred E-ISO. It makes him start combat with mirror image. Moving on to his E-ISO build. The most important ones are going to be in his level 1 and level 2 ability. For that level 1, we have the Exploit Webbing E-ISO. This causes Victor to deal increased damage against web targets. Next, for his level 2, we're using the Ionizing E-ISO. So in other words, it adds radiation exposure. On his level 6, right now we have the Automated Augmented ISO 8. And that causes tech upgrade. And the Obsolescent on his level 9. To be honest with you, we don't really use these two abilities too much. So we're mainly going to focus on his level 1 and level 2. Then as far as my agents build, we're using the Bruiser Safeguard suit with the Elite E-ISO. In my opinion, this is the best of the Safeguard suits and the one you should buy first. But I am going to try to cover the armor sale soon. For our first equipment slot, we're using the Venom Launcher. It's a quick action, and it applies near fatal. It of course goes with the Grace Note, which has Exploit Opportunity, Webbing, Stun, and has a preemptive attack. So when that triggers, it's pretty special. We of course skipped over the Synthetic Cube, but we also have the Hugin's Eye. As far as a synergy weapon with the other two pieces of the Arania set, and with Mayday and Victor, we have the Staff of Storms. This AoE attack causes static charge, which helps out Victor. It also causes Intimidated, which is always a great debuff. And finally, it has Opportunist. That makes it a great combination with the Grace Note. So once again, you can feel free to use anything as your setup. You could go with anti-meta weapons or support items. Something like the Hexenjäger or Skeptic, Weather Control Device, and so on. But for me and for this team build, I really like this setup. Now just like last episode, we'll take on a big boss in the villain archive. And this time it's going to be Thanos. To be honest with you, we're still trying out different recording programs to try to replace our old one, which stopped working with Windows 10. So I'm not really sure about this one yet. Anyways though, against Thanos, we're going to go ahead and web him with May, and we'll just try to set him up for now rather than go for the big hit. We already know that the Amazing Spider-Woman's uppercut can unleash damage in a hurry. We'll see that in the PvP portion of this video. Right now the enemy boss is pretty heavily debuffed, and as you'll see, we could actually knock him out with the Grace Note already. Instead, you know what? Let's do a double take here. Since May's going to take another turn, I don't see any reason to pass. We will go ahead and let her have her uppercut finish. This is in PvE, mind you. and Thanos has a little less than 10k health remaining. Mayday's going to do over that in 3 consecutive hits, so that's a nice finish. We'll try our best to hit even bigger numbers once we get into PvP, which is coming right now. Unfortunately, yes, we're not even at level 15, so these guys are going to get even scarier, and I'm now making it my mission to level them up. But in our first battle, we're taking on a fast win team, a Psylocke and Quicksilver combo. By the way, I believe Psylocke and Quicksilver are both level 15, and since Psylocke's an infiltrator, I think she has the covert E-ISO as well. So yeah, this is a pretty scary team. Luckily, we made it to Mayday's turn with no teammates down, and after we use her level 6 quick action, we're actually going to go ahead and use her level 1 to web the enemies. Webbing is one way to shut down an attack team. So we'll go ahead and put 2 stacks on the enemy agent, and then following that, we're actually going to go ahead and bind them up, plus tangle Quicksilver. Besides that webbing, we're doing a lot of damage as well. The enemy agent's actually going to be knocked out really soon. Well, there they go from dots. And now with Victor Mancha, we'll use our Dragon Claw on Quicksilver. It of course crit, it had deadly crits, and exploit webbing. So all in all, we did over 33k. Then after some vicious preemptive counters, we do a ton of damage to Psylocke, easily knocking her out. So there's Magnetic Mayhem taking on a fast win Quicksilver Psylocke team, aka Quicklock. Next up, we'll face AOU Thor and Red Hulk. This team could definitely take you down if you don't pay attention. Unfortunately for them, Mayday does get to go first, but right away they're going to use the Warm Zephyr and remove our debuffs. So alright, I see how it is. Then they're going to use the Blackest Void on us. Mayday still gets to attack, so we went with Impact Webbing, hit our own agent, but at least collateral damage procs on the enemy team. Now on our agent's first turn, we're just going to go ahead and use the Blackest Void, and hopefully disorient the enemies, causing them to hit themselves. Especially Thor, because he does have one-shot potential. On Red Hulk's turn, he does have 22k HP, but with his attack he was going to hit Victor, and as a tactician he gets a preemptive counter. So hey, the covert E-ISO came through with a huge hit, almost knocking Red Hulk out. And since he was so close to death, Absorb Energy finished him off. I have to say, that was definitely unexpected, but this Dragon Claw is expected. Unfortunately, the enemy agent still lives, but the amazing Spider-Woman will definitely take him down. Oh, and look at this, we get a Grace Note preemptive counter, and a Dragon Claw preemptive. So maybe Thor was going for Summon Thunder. Something like that. Or whatever he did, he took 2 preemptives, and didn't even get his attack off. I have to say, that fight was somewhat surprising all around, even for me, and knowing this team well. So what we're going to do is one more of our daily battles, and this time we're facing Gamora and Iron Fist. Once again, May Parker gets to go first, and we use our level 6, followed by an Impact Webbing, which our agent will protect against. Well hey, now he has some webbing, and most likely so does the rest of their team. Plus he's set up for our level 9, so let's get him out of there right now. Over 60,000 damage ought to do it. Now Gamora is going to attack, and she will get an extra turn. Apparently she was going for an AoE attack, but Victor's preemptive was stopped. Our agent's Grace Note, however, will hit her. Combo Breaker kind of ruined another amazing thing, but that was still an awesome exchange. She only got to barely hit our agent, and he's still at full health. Plus the Grace Note did damage her. After using our level 2, I fully expect Iron Fist to heal, so after that it'll just be direct damage until the end. As a result, we may not get the biggest hits, but these guys are going to have no chance. Quite honestly, that's what most teams have against Magnetic Mayhem. No chance. And just to let you know, you can also try them on defense. They're not bad, they can definitely win there. Because of webbing and Amazing Spider-Woman getting extra turns and dealing tons of damage. There's even more to it than that. Sometimes Victor won't even die, so you can really give them a shot, and if you want, you can even have a high health team. That's how I may end up doing it. They really can come through for you. So as we finish off this final enemy, I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.